cause I'm what she likes.
This is a 12-rounder. Here's round number 1. Got a fast fighter on one side here, Teddy, against a high motor guy on the other side, a guy that'll be there working all night long. What kind of fight do you expect?
Well, I think what you want if you're the fast fighter is you want to relax a little bit, not go out of the chute too fast early. Keep it nice and steady and control range a little bit.
A little something for his opponent after getting tagged. Keeping his hands up. Return to sender. He gives him back one of his own. Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. Takes one, gives one. The right hand scores well. Covers up nicely, gets rid of his opponent's body shot. Hard to believe that they can keep up this pace, but who cares? It's so entertaining while it lasts. Very nice job landing that counter punch, getting away from one that was coming at him. Halfway through this round. Nice combination by Money. Good defensive skill. He gets hit, but he gives it right back. Blocks the headshot. Nice strike after catching one by Winky Wright. Must be the punch of the day. Both guys bringing home uppercuts. Final 10 seconds of round number 1. And that's what fighters do. Pulls the trigger right away after taking one. I think you can just say is going to be key here. This isn't going to be some wild type brawl. This is going to be a very technical, strategic type fight.
Absolutely, Joe. Each guy waiting for the other one to make the first mistake.
And now the right hand lands because of the work done by the jab. Good exchange. He fires back. Good looking right hand after he got hit. Dismisses his opponent's headshot. There's another left hand from him. Good return fire that time. How about that? Back to back he lands by Winky Wright. Good fundamental work, landing the 1-2 there. Would you rather have a fighter who's feared or a fighter who's fearless?
I feel like I'm talking to Sonny from the Bronx Tale, but I think that I would rather have a guy that has fear, because he's going to be smart all the time. He's going to be a guy that's going to be aware of things that you need to be aware of. If he's so-called fearless, he's going to walk into all kinds of things that are not going to allow him to be a fighter.
Tucks those elbows in, blocks the body shot. Wow, is he defensively sound. Reaching the halfway mark of this round. Double jab by Money. He's winning the fight to me based on his overall speed. He's just a faster, quicker fighter and it's making it so that he's able to employ his ways and get the best of his opponent.
Oh, he has that physical asset, no doubt about it. You can see it. But he has to be careful that he doesn't get carried away. He doesn't get reckless with that speed.
To improve that accuracy, missed with the headshot. Wow! Now look at him. He does not look good on the back end of that hook coming home. Blocks it away. A little something for his opponent after getting tagged. He was on wobbly legs not long ago. Now he's got his feet back under him.
What is that, a chin, or is that Mount Rushmore?
Just 10 seconds to go here in the second round. Winky Wright's cut is below the eye. He's going to have to really watch out for that. You don't want to damage that area. Money's got that look. He's got that look like, hey, I know exactly why I had success in that last round. He was able to stun his man, Teddy.
Yeah, you can see that confidence, that body language. Now it's up to an adjustment from his opponent.
And they're swelling around his eyes. Off the mark there. Winky Wright's in a tough spot here, and I think his opponent probably knows it, Teddy, don't you? I mean, he's got to realize that his work rate has been tailing off ever since he got to him.
Well, that's the problem. That's why his opponent's getting more confident. You never allow, you know, what's that old saying? Never let the other guy know you're sweating. Or never let the other fighter know that you're hurt or you're not right, that you're not sure of yourself. He's allowed him to know that, and he's using that knowledge against him right now.
Winky Wright's swelling is starting to become a real issue. There's the headshot, but he parries it away. Early on here in the round, and he's already down, and he doesn't look good at all.
1, 2.
He gets up after that punch put him down on the canvas.
Now he needs to get on that bicycle and stay away from this guy.
See, he's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head. Well-placed counter punch by Money. Winky Wright's vision is being compromised here. That swelling around the eye is worsening as the fight continues.
Well, right now he has to use every advantage he can. You're right. He's at a disadvantage. So now he has to position himself in the ring, every inch of that ring, where he keeps his opponent in a place where he can't throw punches towards the bad eye, where he positions himself where the good eye is always in a place where it can be used.
Wow, is he defensively sound. Good stuff in the opening 2 minutes. A minute to go in this round. Throws a counter punch there. And that's what fighters do. Pulls the trigger right away after taking one. Good defensive skill. On the mark with the overhand right. What a chin. Can you believe the shots this guy's absorbing?
And more importantly, can his opponent believe it? You know what? You want to hit a guy, so you figure that that's a good thing, that's an encouraging thing. This is a case where his opponent might get discouraged just by seeing his guy take those kind of shots.
There's another right hand. Devastating blow by Money. End of the round there, a round in which we did see the knockdown. And Teddy, when a fighter comes back to the corner, having just been floored, typically how are they acting? What are you seeing out of them?
Just imagine you just walked into a room and somebody hit you from behind. You dropped. You're afraid to go in that room again. So put a light on in that room and explain to him why he got dropped. he will not be afraid to go back in that room.
Winky's making for a tough target there. He gets away from that punch. Oh! Winky Wright's been stunned. Showing you some defense there with the block. Winky Wright's in a real tough spot now. There's no doubt about it that the eye has worsened. That cut is really looking ugly right here. What does he have to think about right now? Is it time to just take the realization that, hey, this fight could end at any moment?
Yeah, well, there's two things to that. First of all, the cutman's done his job. He's put the coagulants in there. Now he has to give them time to work. He's got to be elusive. He can't get hit on it for a little while. But also, he has to find a way for offense to stem the tide, to keep the opponent from just walking right in.
Winky Wright able to land a counter punch. Winky Wright's showing us some improvement here offensively. I mean, you can see that he really worked hard in training camp of bringing a varied offense to this fight.
You know, that's a good point, Joe. You know what's working for him, really, is that his opponent thought that he was going to see the same thing that he had seen in the past. Now this change here is catching his opponent by surprise.
That was a miss by Money. Good defense, just covering up down low. A little something for his opponent after getting tagged. The twists and turns and the non-stop battle, it continues on as we've reached the 1 minute mark to go. Well-targeted counter punch by Money. Comes right back with some offense of his own. And he pulls the trigger again. Very nice job landing that counter punch, getting away from one that was coming at him. Seconds to go in this round. Takes one, but gets one. Good work by Winky Wright. Gets rid of that body shot. We come to the end of the round. A round that I'm having a tough time trying to think about who won. I can only imagine what the judges are thinking about. Teddy, if there's one thing you look for in a round like that and say, okay, I'm going to give it to this guy over this guy, what is it?
Well, the first thing is, if I'm a judge, I take a little notepad and I make a little mark down, blue or red corner, what he did early. Because sometimes a judge has a tendency to forget what was done early and only go with what went late.
Teddy, so much work in the gym goes into head movement and how to hit a moving. Oh, and there you go. Winky Wright's in bad shape. And a well-placed counter by Money. Boy, what guts to stay in there and gather yourself again after he was taking a beating.
Yeah, what guts, what instincts, and what a set of whiskers.
There's a taste of the sweet science. You see the skill he has in counterpunching.
And you know,
oh, Winky Wright's in a bad place right now. He was tagged. I don't know what was said to him in the corner, but now he's the busier man.
And he needs to be before any more time goes by.
Oh, what a great ability to recover. So swiftly able to turn defense into offense. Nice counter punch.
And what you're noticing here is his opponent is starting to be a little wary of letting his jab go, because every time he jabs, he gets caught.
What guts it takes, what commitment it takes to keep up with this kind of a pace. The action's been nonstop.
Now, the one thing I can tell you is this is where you don't worry about pace. You don't think about pace. Otherwise, you could not be doing what these guys are doing. They're just going round to round.
Oh, he took some damage, but he gave some back with the right hand. Keeping his hands up, getting rid of his opponent's offense. Boy, just staying on the outside away from danger and scoring well. And lands another body shot. What effect can that have on his opponent as the fight goes deeper?
Well, it's like buying CDs. You know, you buy CDs for your kid. You put them in the bank. Later on, they give you a lot of interest. He's going to start catching them upstairs as the rounds progress.
Coming to the end of round number 5, last 10 seconds. Money's got to like where he's headed right now. Now, your scorecard still has him trailing, but he did win that last round.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, before it looked like he was just trying to, negotiate with his opponent. Now negotiation is over. He's trying to just go through him. And for where he's at, I think that's the right attitude.
Off the mark. Wow, great action right from the start. Hey, I don't know that they can keep up this pace, but if they do, what a night we got ahead of us.
Yeah, we're getting tired just watching this early part.
If I'm his opponent, I look at that eye and I say, that's the magic button. Keep going right there, touch it, touch it, touch it, and we could get a stoppage here.
Well, you're not wrong, but also it could work the other way to your detriment. You could be looking for that spot so much that now you're throwing one punch at a time. You're looking just for that. You're not doing the other things. You're not using the jab to set it up. You're not going to the body. And maybe you actually allow your opponent to survive longer because he could see that one shot coming. He could avoid that one shot.
And now we got a fight. He fires back a right hand of his own. There's the headshot, but he parries it away. I would assume there has to come a point in this fight where he has to make the commitment to throw the power punches. It's hard to envision a way he's going to win this fight without going down that road.
He doesn't have the confidence to do it. I don't know if he's mentally strong enough to do it. I think he's worried about throwing hard at the guy because maybe in his mind that means the guy will throw hard back at him.
Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Unable to score with the hook. Winky Wright's trainer is telling him, hey, just stick with what you've been doing. Yeah, but what he was doing caused him to get rocked earlier.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make an adjustment. Now, they don't feel it's time yet, but that time's coming. It's coming quick.
This is great stuff. I mean, great stuff. Bringing it every which way they are.
So you remember the time you were on vacation, you saw that perfect sunset?
Oh, yeah.
It was just beautiful. This is beautiful.
Able to cover up along the belt line, blocks that one.
Relax. Chase, keep stretched. You're doing fine.
Well, the ability to adapt, so important. Who can make the changes now as we're halfway through this scheduled 12-rounder? Nice block by Money. So swiftly able to turn defense into offense. Nice counterpunch.
And what you're noticing here is his opponent is starting to be a little wary of letting his jab go, because every time he jabs, he gets caught.
Tucks those elbows in, blocks the body shot. Fires right back at him. Winky Wright able to block that punch. I can imagine throughout your career you've been all over a lot of fighters for lack of movement.
Yeah, it's very, very frustrating, because you start to wonder, does he want to win the fight? That's what you start to wonder.
Punches and bunches. It worked out well there with that combo.
Yeah, you know, the early punches set up the late punches.
This is just beautiful to watch. Watch how he just links one to the next, Teddy. A beautiful sequence, almost like musical notes being played.
Well, exactly. It's a nice tool, because it just follows. One, as you said, follows the other. Nice and smooth.
Doing well on the outside. Able to dismiss it. Looks like there's blood coming from Winky Wright's nose. Covers up nicely, gets rid of his opponent's body shot. There's the headshot, but he parries it away. Target in mind, but just missed. Well, as that round comes to an end, it gives us a moment to kind of reflect on this overall fight. Teddy, my thoughts are pretty clear cut. This is the kind of fight that just takes on a personality of its own. This is an all-out war.
Yeah, this is kind of like watching a guy who's not on a budget. You know, he's spending with both hands. You know, when he goes home, he's going to have no money in his pockets. And when this fight is over, these guys are going to have nothing left in the gas tank, and it's probably not going to a decision.
Right back at him with a left hand. Winky Wright able to block that punch. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Winky Wright. Winky Wright's got to be really careful here. That eye is an absolute mess. The cut is really bad. In fact, it could call for an end to this fight at any point.
Well, Joe, the key is where the cut is. It's above the eye, and that means that the flow will go into the eye and, of course, impair the vision. That is what the referee's going to be looking at.
Wow, just sit back and... Oh, that's got to hurt. Winky Wright's legs look shaky. He was hurt. Takes one to give one. He comes back with a right hand. 1 minute to go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. That is a big right hand after eating one himself. Lands flush with the two-punch combo by Money. Money's got those earmuffs on, and he's got his hands tight against his body. But Teddy, still, some things are getting through.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like driving a car, Joe, you know, and the weather's a little bad, and you say,
oh! Winky Wright stunned, and he is hurt. The 9th round is here. Money's opening up this round knowing that he is in complete control. I think he can actually end this fight. He really hurt him in that last round, Teddy.
He did, but what the trick is now, if he wants to end this fight, is to keep to certain distance. I know that sounds funny when you say, hey, Teddy's hurting the guy, you want to get close to him. No, because as he gets close, his opponent's going to grab him. So just keep enough range where you can keep that offensive flow going.
Use your feet.
Right back at him. Winky blocks it. Well, that's what Winky waits for, the counter punch. Winky Wright's being very efficient right here. I mean, he's just picking his shots. His accuracy is through the roof.
Well, that's one of the talents, and you hope is a talent of a top fighter, is his ability to pick his shots, to be calm enough to see the openings. He's seeing everything right now.
Good way to protect the midsection. Not hitting his mark there going upstairs. Winky Wright's in a position now where he should be able to bring home a win. If things stay the way they are, he's clearly headed towards a win.
Yeah, I have my head on my scorecard, but he has to make sure he doesn't, like in football, go into that defense. If he starts just moving, just staying away a little bit, now the things that were keeping his opponent from coming in that front door, well, guess what? They're not there no more. His opponent could get back into this fight.
That is it. That is it. This fight is over. The ref steps in and calls it.
Good stoppage.
By way of TKO, your winner, Money. He's your winner by TKO.
And a guy that I want to see more of.
That does it from ringside. For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for being with us.